Well, howdy YouTube gamers, welcome. So we got the Nightreign new trailer. It's actually 10 minutes. And the announcer actually explained many things, like about the gameplay loop, about the seeds, and what's important the most to me at least. We got a lot of information about characters, and that's what we are actually going to focus on. So I'm going to be actually pausing and stuff, but let's hear about Nightfarers.
8 Nightfarers assembled to defeat the Night Lord.
So 8 Nightfarers it says here, although on the screen we could have seen only 7 of them, yeah? Going from the left, yeah, it's Welder, Guardian, Ioni, this is Duchess, that boy over here is Rider, Recluse, and Executor. And then the one that is missing is Revenant. And we actually got the sneak peek of what Revenant looks like. Previously we didn't even know the name, yeah? Here we actually see this is actually Revenant, yeah? And she's going to be most likely the Summoner class. Like, speaking of Revenant, people went absolutely crazy over this picture. Like, this is the first official release of anything related to Revenant.
Each Nightfarer possesses different weapons and unique passive abilities, skills, and ultimate arts. Wilder, a knight proficient in a wide range of melee weapons, can throw grappling hooks to pull enemies, or swiftly close distances. He can also launch explosive iron spikes that deal a powerful blow to any enemy.
So it's worth to mention, guys, because yeah, I have played every single network test, so I got quite some experience with Wilder in particular. Actually, I played the most with Wilder. Here's the funny thing about this character overall. His ability is this, like, he can pull enemies to him, or he can actually get himself closer to an enemy by like using the grapple. Grapple unfortunately cannot be used vertically, so like this grapple is kind of limited in its use, and I frankly don't think that it's very good ability overall. That being said, his ultimate ability is pretty insane. We are going to see this pile bunker like ability. A lot of people were incorrectly using this ability during the network test because they were just clicking the ability. You have to hold it. The difference between click and hold is that if you are going to click the ability, then you are going to waste only half of your energy bar, and you are just going to cast it quickly. But the more powerful version is when you hold it, and then you get also iframes upon release. So like in vast majority of cases, you want to actually hold it to deal more posture damage, deal more overall damage, and also have the iframes.
Guardian, a warrior equipped with a massive shield, excels in defense. Their skill.
This is so fucking excels in defense. The guy has shitons of the HP, but I don't really think that he excels in defense at all in the actual gameplay. I think he excels in Unga Bunga Bird Up. Like, that's the thing.
Can lift enemies off their feet and
this ability is dog shit, by the way.
deflect arrows. Their art, Wings of Salvation, repels approaching enemies and deploys a magic circle to save allies from dire situations.
You can use this ultimate in the practical gameplay to actually pick up your teammates, because you know you are actually picking up your teammates that are fallen by hitting them. So using this ability is going to pretty much instantly pick them up. And on top of that, when you are going to hold your ability, your ultimate, you are in this stance that you see on the screen right here. And this stance essentially gives you infinite iframes. You cannot get hurt when you are holding your ability, which is pretty funny stale mechanic. And on top of that, like the restoration of the ultimate, like this character overall seems like he has his ultimate more often than other characters. Like maybe less ultimate points is required. But yeah, like this, frankly, in my eyes, Guardian is like essentially a skill bot or ultimate bot. Like, you want to use that ability a lot.
Deploys a magic circle.
It deals like
Save
decent
allies
posture
from
damage
dire
too.
Situations. Ioni, an archer who never misses a foe's weakness, controls enemies from a distance. His marking skill.
So here is the thing. Ioni is a class that wasn't available during the network test. So I personally barely know anything about the guy.
Controls.
But few things we know about overall bow mechanics. So this crosshair is basically a new way of aiming that we know from actually Nightreign that wasn't available in the other games at all. And it's probably for the worse, because you are way less mobile with this new way of aiming than you used to be in Elden Ring. You cannot, for example, enable the lock-on in the middle of the air. That being said, dude, look at that. The bow here is actually greased. So yeah, like greasing the bow is actually a way to go. Like, you actually can do that. Normally you couldn't do that in any other game.
Weakness. Controls enemies from a distance. His marking skill injures and pressures the enemy, greatly disrupting their poise and creating openings to exploit.
That's actually pretty cool. Lady here says that you can mark an enemy with this character, so it's probably his passive, yeah? And she says that it decreases the amount of the posture, or like makes it so you essentially deal more posture damage. And that's probably for the entire team. So using the Ioni with the other class that, for example, deals shit tons of posture damage, is probably pretty goated.
Greatly disrupting their poise and creating openings to exploit. His art single shot fires a super.
Okay, before we're gonna go to the art here, look.
Creating openings to exploit.
Check this out. This is also something we actually seen in the network test. Look at that. This is a backstab. So like now we can actually crit with the bows, and that was actually available in the network test.
To exploit. His art single shot fires a supersonic arrow that pierces through every enemy and obstacle,
and that's an ult.
No escape. Duchess, a virtuous thief with quick reflexes.
She was, dude. This class is just stupid. If you are going to have like a solo challenge runners like doing their things, Duchess is going to be the GOAT. She was available during the network test, and she can double dash. This is what you're seeing here. This dash, yeah, one and second dash. She can combo the dashes, and on top of that, one of the passives that she can get throughout progression of the game is more iframes, which means it is a light roll character that has the iframes throughout entire duration of the dodge, and on top of that you can combo like dodge into dodge. You can do the double dodge, gaining significant distance, and basically make it so like you just, if you are spamming the dodge, you're just good.
Uses her cunning to confuse enemies. After attacking, she can use the skill Restage to reenact what just happened and deal damage again. Her art finale hides her and nearby allies from the enemy's view, giving them a chance to adjust their positions or create an ambush.
Honestly, in the practice, this ultimate is being just used in case if your team going to fuck up, so you just cast it and then you can pick them up for free.
Raider, a seafarer who is resilient and unyielding in battle, doesn't flinch at minor attacks.
Doesn't flinch on minor attacks. And I wonder if that just like means that, oh, he has a lot of the passive poise. It might be the case, frankly. So we didn't play with this character. This character wasn't available in the network test. So yeah, there is not much we know, but we got plenty of explanations of his skills. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit in the sec.
Who is resilient and unyielding in battle, doesn't flinch at minor attacks, and rampages through enemies. His skill Retaliate strikes back with a powerful blow. It cannot be interrupted by enemy attacks.
I want to notice two things about this one. Check this out. So first of all, we have practically the same animation, but this one over here, this is his skill, yeah? He actually just got hit by the guy, didn't flinch at all. hit him back. Okay, cool. And here we have the same, but he has some sort of aura on him. And then upon the hit, you have the AoE effect. So there is apparently some sort of the way of altering the skill. And looking by the duration of this attack, it seems like as if like it's basically about the same. So there must be like some sort of the minigame related to this character that's going to make the difference between stronger and weaker version of the ability. On top of that, from the descriptions of the moves, it seems like we got some sort of super armor onto this attack. You cannot be staggered at all. And here is one problem with this character. So in the network test, From Software used the base Elden Ring balance patch, which means that, you know, like right now, Elden Ring has a lot of very cool changes related to, for example, R2 attacks of the weapons that are way faster than the one that we had in the on the initial release of Elden Ring. And we don't have that in the Nightreign. If they are not going to bring these patch changes, it also means that hyper armor is not going to be giving you the additional defenses like it does in Elden Ring. In Elden Ring, when for example you use the Colossal Sword for one, you are not only getting the hyper armor, but when you're getting hit in the hyper armor frames, you are receiving 17% of the negations, which is very fucking good. Character like this would benefit a lot out of this type of mitigations. So like, if they are not going to bring these changes to the Nightreign, this class gonna be probably pretty bad, frankly. Because you are going to have that super armor of yours. This move is relatively slow. I'm not sure if it can be actually effectively utilized in order to just poise break your enemy. Maybe it is, but like, since the move is so slow, if you are not going to get any sort of the additional mitigations on this move, and this is just hyper armor, but you're receiving full damage, then especially on the multi-hits, if an enemy is going to multi-hit on you, you probably can just die in the hyper armor and that's it. Especially because it's the class that probably like excels on the strength ability, in the meaning that you probably want to use big weapons. And if you are looking at the moveset here, on the regular attacks, yeah, they are so incredibly fucking slow, yeah? So yeah, I really hope that they are going to improve this character by just like including the recent balance changes of regular Elden Ring. It's going to benefit the entire game for sure.
His art, Totem Stellar, summons a colossal gravestone that serves as an attack to dispel enemies, acts as a wall to block projectiles, and amplifies the strength of allies through its protective aura.
Okay, so his ultimate. 3 things that we actually know right now. So first of all, I'm not exactly sure what the lady means by this spell. She said that this totem in particular is actually going to dispel enemies. So I'm not exactly sure what does that exactly mean. But what is more clear about what this totem does, like further in, it's going to block projectiles, which is cool. You can easily get on that totem, which means that if this totem going to stay, for example, for 30 seconds, you are going to be able to just like jump on the totem and then plunge attack onto the boss. And then jump on the totem, plunge attack, and so on and so forth. Plunge attacks in Elden Ring work in the way that, like, if you're going to do the jump R2, for example, it is instant, fully charged attack against an enemy. So it deals absurd amount of the posture damage, which in PvE is goated, yeah? In the PvE, you want to do the posture damage.
Projectiles.
On top of that, the lady says that you are actually amplifying the strength of allies through its protective aura. So you just get the additional defenses when you are using this, apparently.
Recluse, a wielder of ancient magic, collects the elemental attributes attached to enemies and allies to produce different types of powerful magic, such as lightning-based or fire-based spells. Her art, Soulblood Song, can also brand foes with an archaic glyph of blood. It allows allies to recover health and magic by attacking them.
Yep. So Recluse overall, like we have played Recluse a lot during the network test, and honestly, it's just a mage done right. It would be lovely if Elden Ring had mages like Recluse, because here's a problem with intelligence-based gaming in Elden Ring. Despite you leveling up intelligence, playing a mage is the dumber way of, or dumbest way of playing Elden Ring overall. It's just like pew-pewing like a fucking moron from the distance. And the gameplay loop where you actually have to collect the elements, and those actually matter per case, per situation, and so on and so forth, is actually way more engaging and entertaining, in my opinion. On top of that, that ultimate, yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. First of all, it gives you absurd amount of the iframes. It's very long cast, so you can utilize it in order to dodge, like for example, like a lingering hitbox of the attacks. And on top of that, yeah, when you are going to mark the sigil onto an enemy, which is like huge AoE, so you are going to just cast it and that's about it, you good, like the thing's gonna be marked. Then yeah, like you are regenerating mana, you're regenerating HP, for attacking an enemy, not only for yourself, but also for your teammates. So yeah, that's pretty goated.
Okay, Glyph of Blood. It allows allies to recover health and magic by attacking them. By mastering the style, skill, and ultimate arts of these Nightfarers, you may be able to survive and defeat the Knight.
Yep. And this is Revenant, yeah? The previous character here shown as Executor. And unfortunately, we actually don't have the rundown of their abilities in this trailer at all. They just shown them, didn't even mention their names or anything. We only see like the guy like deflecting here, like the another individual, and this lady just well, doing some poses, yeah? It's worth to mention that I sadly, unfortunately, couldn't find it. I have seen it somewhere in the past, some sort of translation of explanation of the abilities of Executor in freaking like Japanese language. Someone translated it. I just cannot find it, unfortunately, anymore. Point being, it seems like this deflect ability that we have here on Executor, it's not like Sekiro. Apparently, it's not like you can time the block in order to deflect. It seems like it's actually more of an ability. So, on top of that, somewhere here at the beginning of the trailer, I gotta have to find it, yeah. But somewhere here at the beginning of the trailer, you have an instance of Executor deflecting attacks and then still being guard broken. Let me actually try to find it real quick. Okay, so it's here. Check this out. Let's actually maybe play it in the slow motion, okay? Here is an attack of the Fell Omen. That's like multi-hit. One hit deflected, second hit deflected, third hit deflected, but guard broken? Actually, let me see it again. Yeah, so like seems like fourth hit, just straight up guard broke, yeah? The Executor. That's the deflect, that's the deflect. Ah, look at that. The third hit actually looking like regular block. So my point is maybe that deflecting ability is not really like timing related like it would be Sekiro, yeah, where you just have to click the block. Maybe it's just like automatically based off just you using an ability and that's it. And maybe like this deflecting is more on par with Elden Ring deflect. Like you have the deflect tier, yeah? What it does is just like a regular block. It's just so that you are losing way less stamina upon blocking. And maybe this entire animation of the deflects that we have here is just like a unique animation of the blocking for this particular weapon. Yeah, that's probably like a starting weapon for this class in particular, because every single character in this game has some sort of the starting weapon that is just unique, yeah? But also you want to exchange it as soon as possible, frankly, in the actual regular gameplay loop. So you are going to end up using different weapons on Executor anyway, not her or his starting katana, or at least it's looking like a katana. Alright, part 4, round table hold.
The hidden round table hold serves as a base for Nightfarers.
Yeah, and like we are going to go over it as well. I think it's because it's important part of the game, yeah? There is plenty of changes. This area over here, by the way, we didn't have access to it in the actual network test. It is that area where you fight the invader, where you get the Counterstone, yeah? So you have to jump off the balcony in order to get to this area. And frankly, I have no idea what can be here. On top of that, you see some stuff like happening here on the ground. You have some sort of the effects, yeah, on the ground. So I frankly have no clue what this area might be for.
Serves as a base for Nightfarers, preparing for battle in Limveld. Relics recovered from expeditions can enhance your abilities when equipped before deployment. Relics have a diverse assortment of effects.
And yeah, those effects actually can alter the gameplay altogether, yeah? It's worth to mention that, for example, look down here, yeah? You have Holy Attack Power Up. This thing is quite interesting, because it doesn't mean that every weapon that you are holding deals additional holy attack damage. The holy attack power up, at least in the network test, was working the way that if you are looting a weapon, you have a higher chance to have this particular type of infusion on the weapon. So yeah, like if you are going, for example, get yourself gems that have, let's say, blood attack power up, poison attack power up, frost attack power up, and rot attack power up, and you are gonna combine them into one character, then when you are gonna be looting weapons in the game, you have a chance to get yourself, for example, a twin blade that is going to have blood, poison, frost, and rot affinity in one weapon.
Ranging from increasing stats to altering the performance of skills. Different relic combinations can alter your gameplay experience, so try out different approaches and see what...
Like this one, for example, this guy has a relic that allows him to heal his teammates, yeah? Just with using the Estus flask, basically the same, or Crimson flask, basically the same like in Dark Souls 1. Back in the days in Dark Souls 1, for example, phantoms couldn't heal in other ways than humanity. They couldn't use the Estus flasks. So instead, the way how they were getting healed is if the host was using the flask. The 50% of the healing of the flask was going also to the phantoms. So yeah, that's how it was.
Best for the journey ahead. In a corner of the back room, a small jar merchant operates a bazaar selling various goods.
Dude, this thing, this guy.
Once you accumulate the currency Merc,
this guy,
battle rewards.
Look at him. So fucking precious, so cool. But I want to point out things in this shop. So like after every expedition, let's call it that way, after every expedition to the Limveld, you are actually getting the currency. That currency can be spent on this shop. This shop wasn't actually available in the network test, but from that what we see, we can actually, we have on top like goblets for every character, it seems like, which says that enables new relic right. And what I assume it does mean is you see the different colors over here. So I assume these goblets allow you to swap the colors of the relics. And that's important because let's say that you might have like a relic that you want to use, but you cannot slot it in because you do not have the matching color for a particular character. So you can actually change it by using this goblet. And it might be RNG based apparently. You can also get yourself the gestures, but that's like it's less meaningful, yeah? At the bottom here though, with what is pretty funny, you have the scenic flatstone, and you can buy particular amount of them, yeah, from 1 to 10. And this guy bought 10, and what you get here is freaking gacha. You're literally going to get yourself like a 10 relics, and they are going to be randomized. On top of that, it seems like you have also just like regular relics there, yeah? Like on the top, as you can see here, like this entire section, those are actually just relics that you can, they are ready to buy and they are fixed, which is quite interesting. There is also something for 1500 below. in the amount of 1, I have no idea what is that. It kind of looks like some sort of the talisman, but like talismans you are getting in the match itself, so definitely not, it is not a talisman that you could just like equip and that's it. So yeah, I don't know what is that, frankly.
It's a bazaar selling various goods. Once you accumulate the currency Merc, earned as battle rewards, it might be worth checking what's on sale. Using the fitting mirror, you can unlock new costumes with Merc and change your appearance. These outfits allow you to change your Nightfarers style to suit your tastes.
I thought they are going to do so much less with this. I thought they are just going to do like armory colors and that's it. But no, like the character skin, like the player skin also changes. Yeah, like the Berb guy is looking very differently. And check this out though.
Some costumes might even look familiar.
We got the Faram set, we got the Solaire, we got the Bloodborne guy. So I wanted to say that the poise to the regular characters, to the player characters, is actually directly related to your armor pieces. I actually thought like maybe skin's going to negatively affect the balance, because technically regular characters and their poise is being tied to the outfit, yeah, to the armor pieces. This is how players get their poise. It's different in case of monsters, in case of bosses. They have fixed amount of poise. And now I kind of realized something. You see, back there we actually have seen one of the relics having that +1 poise, yeah? And I just kind of realized something. I think they moved the bosses and mobs poise system onto characters, because +1 poise would be incredibly insignificant, yeah? It would be ridiculous to even actually have this type of attribute. But since like poise is ×10 multiplier of the mob to the player ratio, then it is actually +10, which is still not much, but definitely something, yeah? In comparison to +1. So since they are using +1 value instead of +10 value, which would make more sense, yeah, then I do believe that, yeah, they just like moved the entire poise system from the mobs, from the bosses onto the players. And because of that, now they can use the system that already exists in Elden Ring, so they don't have to actually make anything new. And then they can just like give every single piece of armor in the game 0 poise, and because of that they can actually make whatever cosmetics they want. I think this is how they solved it from the technical point of view.
As you battle against the night, fragments of your lost memories may return, giving you glimpses of who you once were.
That's that thing, yeah, the thing for the lore maniacs. You're apparently going to have an ability to discover the lore of the characters, basically, in-game characters.
By recovering these fragments of lost memory, you can fill in the blanks of your Nightfarers' blurred recollections. In these memories, conversations with other Nightfarers or residents of the Round Table Hold might reveal new objectives. Achieving these goals during adventures in Limveld will help unravel the past, revealing each Nightfarer's origins and purposes.
Yep, so essentially the lore gonna be related to some sort of the quest lines. You're gonna be actually discovering lore of the characters by actively engaging in the gameplay loop, which is quite interesting, frankly. It might be cool. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure you are going to have a side rewards. So even if you are not interested in lore, this is going to be like a quest. You are going to have like essentially a quests given from the NPC that's probably going to give you like relics or maybe money or whatever, yeah? So that's pretty cool.
See why they have come together at this Round Table Hold, and why they fight.
Yep. Look at that. Executor is actually a painter. Yep. And yeah, the rest of the thing is about bosses, and I'm just gonna quickly say that, like, yeah, like every single Night Lord area is basically the same. Only the skybox and the eventual color of the sand changes, but probably not even that. It's most likely just like the matter of the lighting, yeah? It seems like it's going to be like that. We are going to have big ass area for the final boss fights of every run that's going to look very alike. Now there we have another one. This time we have like more like a gold aura when it comes to the skybox, and yeah, this is how it's gonna be looking like. Anyway, Nightreign looking very interesting to me, and I just cannot wait to try it. I like the fact that this game seems to not take itself very seriously, which is a nice change of pace. It's cool that we are actually getting more of a light-hearted type of game. Like where we have like this type of scenes, the guy just watering the plants, yeah? Or further here, the funny merchant guy just drawing the picture of himself. Pretty cool. I'm looking up to it. Cannot wait to see what they are going to cook with it. And I cannot wait to see where we are actually gonna go with that entire romance of online focused games, because we got like Nightreign, yeah, that's going to be released in 30 days. Then on the Switch 2 we are going to have Duskbloods, which is also multiplayer, this time PvP focused. Worth to mention sadly though that easy anti-cheat is going to be a part of the Nightreign on the release on the PC at least. Which means that you are not gonna be able to play as Shrek while in the multiplayer session, at least when you're connected to the official Elden Ring Nightreign servers. On top of that, well, it's kind of unfortunate because I think Nightreign's potential is in mods. I think the mods for this game going to be absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what modders are going to bring to this game. It's also worth to mention that DLC is pretty much already announced. By buying the Deluxe Edition, you are actually getting access to the DLC that is going to be released on 4th quarter of 2025. And it's going to include the additional playable characters and bosses. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We actually can buy a season pass, equivalent of the season pass, for one DLC. So the game has at least a promise of half of the year of the ongoing content. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be significantly less popular of a game than Elden Ring actually is, yeah? Elden Ring on the release on the Steam only peaked on almost 1 million concurrent players, yeah? And it still sits quite strong with the peaks of around 45k every single day, and on the weekends it's like 55k. When there is a sale, these numbers skyrocket even further to 100k, something like that. Nightreign, I am pretty certain, is going to be way less of a commercial success, but I'm still looking up to this game. I think it's going to be fun experience to play through it, to figure out like the metas and so on, so I cannot wait.